This is Kendra.
And this is Brianna. Welcome to Camp Comparisons.
Where she's in one camp and I'm in the other. All right. Well, we don't have any new news or updates for now, so we're going to go forward.
Our spoiler warning is that we are going to spoil the very, very last little bit of this episode and of this book. And we might bring up little things from the other books, but if they're plot related or heavy character spoilers, then we will obviously give a spoiler warning so you can skip ahead if you haven't read that book.
Excellent. So last episode we covered the very beginning of episode 9, The Prophecy Comes True, and it was like the scene, he has like a flashback. What was the flashback about? Oh, it was the sword fight with fighting. Luke. The Ares fight. Mm-hmm. And then when he went to that Montauk cabin and saw Alecto. And I believe we ended it. Yeah. Yeah, where we ended it. After Alecto leaves and then the three talked and he sends them to camp and they send him off to his death.
Right. Yeah. Well, the last thing we talked about was like the email line.
The email line, yeah. Okay. So that was last episode. Yeah, so now we're going to get going on this episode.
Yeah. So now he's just walking up to the Empire State Building.
Yeah, it shows like the New York City, maybe like line, like what's it called? The skyline, maybe? Like, you know, you're in New York City and then he's walking into the lobby of New York, of the States Building. Empire States Building. Yeah. And I remember thinking, I wanted to check, I was like, is that what it looks like? Because I've never been to the Empire State Building. Is that the lobby? Did they actually film in the lobby? I don't know.
I mean, I'm guessing no. Considering they didn't film in the Met, I'm guessing they didn't film in the lobby of the Empire State Building either.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've only seen the Empire State Building from afar. Although, we talked about how fun it would be to go up and ask, like, to get to the 600th floor.
To ask for the 600th floor. But I'm sure the person there is like, oh my gosh, not again. Go away, you Percy Jackson fan.
Or maybe like no one like actually does that because if they have
or maybe it's a secret and they pass you over a thing that says, you know, like past the 600th floor because
like kind of like when you call, like when you try to call in the telephone booth at Harry Potter World. Yeah. When you try to call Magic. To get into the ministry and they just say it's like out of order. Maybe he's like...
Maybe he'll say, sorry, 600 floor is out of order.
Yeah, sorry, they're doing a remodeling.
Well, maybe we'll have to try that sometime. I feel like Mike would have tried that.
I feel like they won't know and it's just going to be so awkward. Like, what?
Why are you doing that? I love the book scene. It's okay. They weren't... Whatever. They did the scene in the show. It's totally fine. But the cool thing about the book scene, I personally think, was that he walks up to the guard at the front desk and says 600th floor. And it says, he was reading a huge book with a picture of a wizard on the front. I wasn't much into fantasy, but the book must have been good. Whatever. And I'm like, Harry Potter. Because the next time they go, he's reading a book with a big apple in the front. And they're like, Twilight!
Yeah, I mean, Rick references other things all the time.
Pop culture. I just thought that was funny. But anyway, so he says 600th floor, and the guy says no such floor, and he says, I need an audience with Zeus. And he's like, what? And he's like, you heard me. But then he says, no appointment, no audience. Lord Zeus doesn't see anyone unannounced. And then he says, I think he'll make an exception and puts the bolt on the desk. Yeah. So that's not much. It's not a whole bunch different. I mean, this way he just walks up and drops the bolt on the desk. He's just like, he just like cuts. He's just like, I'm here to see Zeus. I don't have an appointment. He doesn't even get asked if there's an appointment. He's just like, I don't have one. Yep. And then that's it.
Or then he's in the elevator.
Yeah. So, I did this whole deep dive on the elevator. Did you notice at all that the elevator... Now, you're looking at the elevator, like the outside of it on the 600th floor, basically. Because you you see the line go up. Yeah. And then he comes out. So you're looking at it from the Greek side. Right. And it's all Greek letters. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did notice that.
So at first I'm like, like I said, I spent so much time on this. I went into each one. I'm like, okay, it's an A. And then it's a P, which is called rho. And then it's this other like E something that's called sigma. And then tau. And then upsilon. And then phi. And then chi. I apologize to anybody if you know Greek really well and I just screwed that up. And I was like, I wonder if you put this together, if it means something. And I went into the definitions of all of them and I learned all the definitions. And then on one of them, it says That was cracking me up. I spent so much time on it because I was like, this looks so cool. Like, why would we have only these letters?
Yeah.
And at one point, at one of them, I think it was on the very last one, of course, it says, and in Greek numeral, it's 600. And I was like, oh. So I went back and looked at them, and it's
they're
the first one is just means the beginning, because
Yeah.
A means the beginning. Like, that word alpha means beginning or starting point.
Right.
And then the next was like 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. I was like, oh, it's literally the numbers. I don't know what I thought. I thought it was meanings, because I know the Greek alphabet as meanings. I don't know them as numbers. I didn't realize they had number representations.
I guess so.
But I was like, it was like life, resurrection, full circle, harmony, life force, like all this stuff was like, and I was like, this is so cool. I don't know what I'm learning from it. And I wasn't learning anything.
That's very funny. They were literally just numbered.
They're just it's just literally, it goes from nothing to 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and he's on the 600 floor.
It's just funny that they had those have real meanings, but there's like random Greek looking like
symbols all over the camp.
But they're not even Greek. You could have put something there.
Yeah, well, someone had fun figuring out, putting at least these Greek letters correctly.
I mean, Hermes is like the what cabin? Like, there's 12 cabins. It has to have a number associated with it. I mean, we know it does, because there's like, we know that like Percy's in cabin 3, for example.
Yeah.
And they sometimes say Poseidon's cabin, or sometimes they say cabin 3.
Yeah.
And we know cabin 5 is Ares, and what is Athena's? 7, 6, 4?
I'm not good at the numbers.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I just know cabin 5, like, because of how much it's mentioned, like, Ares, like, people doing something dumb.
Yeah.
But they all have numbers, and they're referenced by their numbers in camp. So why couldn't the symbol above Hermes' cabin been, like, the number?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It was, I don't know what they were doing with the symbols, but the book, he has like a card key, like he sticks it in, and then the 600 button pops up, and then he pushes it, and then there's like elevator music. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it says what it was. I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't. But there's some elevator music. And then when he gets up there, it opens, and he says he's standing on a narrow stone walkway in the middle of the air. Now, that didn't look like this here.
It wasn't a narrow stone walkway, but
it was kind of hanging. Like, this elevator was kind of like in the middle of nowhere, but instead, the doors, you notice the doors were peacock doors?
No.
There's a peacock pattern on the doors. I was like, oh, Hera. But then you open the doors, and there is like this walkway with columns, and then you have the whole city laid out.
Right.
So it's a little different, but whatever. I mean, not really important.
What is cool is that it's an actual whole city.
It is a whole city.
Because maybe it's the movie or something, but I remember there's like times when it's not been represented as like an entire city. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, Olympus, just the castle of the gods. But no,
as opposed to the whole
bunch of minor
city.
gods live up there, and nereids and nymphs and I don't know who else.
Yeah, one point when he's walking towards,
gods, I guess.
When he's like walking to where the place is to meet Zeus, you actually see a person kind of like look around the corner and watch him for a while, and then like it was kind of weird. So there's people there. Although in the book he shows up. Oh, here it is. It's called Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. That's the elevator music. Muzak. I hope I said that right. Well, anyways, when he shows up, instead, it's like, he says, from the top of the clouds rose the decapitated peak of a mountain, its summit covered with snow. Clinging to the mountainside were dozens of multi-leveled palaces, a city of mansions, all with white column porticos, gilded terraces, bronze braziers, whatever. It goes on and on and on. So, like, it's this whole thing on a mountain. It's kind of like that a little bit, maybe. I got
Wouldn't
so much
go
more.
Up to see Zeus? Is he in a castle, or are they just, like, in the open sky?
In this thing right here?
No, in the show.
In the show, he's walking up the mountain, and they're in an open sky
like
courtroom or pavilion, but not covered.
Yeah, it's not. But isn't the courtroom supposed to be, like, in... Like, I mean, not the courtroom, like the room of the gods. Isn't it just like in the palace?
Yeah, I was wondering that too. But it says he climbed towards the big palace, which, by the way, is the next. We're not there yet, but that's fine. He climbs towards the palace. It says everything glittered white and silver, and then this is where he realizes that Hades built his palace to resemble Olympus. And then it says steps led up to a central courtyard. Past that, the throne room. So it doesn't really say... Oh, no, it does. It says room really isn't the right word. The place made Grand Central Station look like a broom closet. Massive columns rose to a domed ceiling. Okay, so it did have a ceiling.
So the throne room, is it in the castle or is it is it its own room that's... Like, does it connect? I know it doesn't say.
Explain it.
But, like, is there a door that you walk through and then you're in the rest of the god's palace?
I don't know.
Or do they, like, leave their palace and come down to the throne room?
It's like he goes courtyard to throne room immediately. So it almost seems like it's a little bit outside. Like, maybe Zeus doesn't want all of the gods in his palace when they come visit. I'm not sure.
I don't think it's just his palace. Like,
no, I don't think so either.
We learned from the Apollo series a little bit. It's like very, very briefly mentioned, but we do learn that, like, while Apollo does consider that to be like his dad's house, they do all have rooms.
Yeah,
there.
his rooms. Yeah, you're right.
But like they all also have secondary places.
We need a full description from Rick of what this place actually looks like.
Yeah, I do want to know how it connects. But maybe maybe the courtyard, maybe like the throne room is like the entry room of the whole palace. Maybe there are like off leading places to go into the rest of the castle.
Yeah,
from there.
It's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Anyways, but we don't get that far. We just get where he sees the whole city, and that's it. That's all we get to that on that scene, because then it goes into a flashback, and we have
about the
Luke saying the gods are all powerful, but they have to play by the rules.
Right.
Blah blah blah. It talks about the demigods break rules for them, but if we can break rules and they can't. Oh no, then I think Percy says, but if we can break rules and they can't, shouldn't they be just as afraid of us as we are? And that's that whole thing about.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this is where Luke says, like, first of all, he clearly looks proud of Percy.
And he says, you're learning fast. And then he looks around really, he said, we got to be careful. So he's like trying to pull Percy into this,
this is
secretive...
clearly part of this recruitment that he's doing. But, yeah, he is, like, happy that he seems to see this idea that they can do things that the gods can't do, and that does make them potentially dangerous. I mean, come on, Luke. Someone stole their symbols of power, and a god can't do that. Like, the gods can't steal each other's things. I mean, whatever. Their main things, whatever it would be called.
Symbols of power.
Yeah. So, it had to be a demigod, and that's something only a demigod could do. So, there's definitely, like, that
So,
idea.
the gods are restricted. They are all powerful gods, yet they have to follow rules, which is just dumb. But maybe not dumb, because if they're all powerful.
Mortals. I mean, that's the thing. Like, they were created out of the image that the mortals who were praying to them had.
Yeah.
And they were
to follow rules
into existence with a set of rules, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because as mortals creating deities, you kind of have to
But it's kind of backwards a little bit, because that one Titan was one who made human race. Remember? Apparently. So it all doesn't make any sense.
But... I mean, they do admit that they exist because of the prayers of whatever, but
yeah, Prometheus apparently made man out of, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. That's getting a little too philosophical.
I know.
But
I don't know.
But yeah, like the whole idea is they are restricted, and so they have to use demigods to do more. So demigods can actually affect them.
Right.
Yeah.
I would just say when it comes to how does Prometheus think he created everyone, I think, like, you could say that as the gods and all of their counterparts and everyone was created through their, whatever, praying and creating them. Mm-hmm. They are all imbued with, like, these memories of who they are and what they did. So while Prometheus, I'm sure, 100% remembers and believes himself creating humanity, a whole nother set of gods believes that, like, what do the Norse gods believe? Wait, doesn't some religion believe someone came from a rib? Oh no, that's Christianity.
Maybe. But like also, I don't know, like the dwarfs in the Norse religion came from some part of
I'm just saying, like, in the Norse mythology, someone else created humanity, not Prometheus.
That's true.
So you just get this situation where all these different people all have these true, like, memories that to them are 100% true, and that is how it happened, but it's just how it is for them.
Yeah.
And not for the next people over. The point is, humanity was created, and that's all that was important.
Yeah, I guess so. That's all.
Yep.
This is where Luke just spits out, Annabeth's terrified of spiders. And I remember watching this going like, Now you tell us.
Yeah.
We got to get that in somewhere. At least they got it in.
Because we were saying in the scene where they didn't mention that, we were like,
how are
this
we gonna
is
do
important later.
This is important.
And while it's very, very important in the later series, it still comes up in relevancy in just this series.
Yeah.
Other times.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it was brought up.
So he says that, and then he's like saying that like we're bigger than they are, but
No, they're bigger than we are. He's saying that the gods are bigger than us.
Oh no! Oh, I thought it was talking about Annabeth's being terrified of spiders, but the spiders are smaller than her, maybe, or whatever. What would she do? Like, she would just. I mean, he's kind of implying she would just kill one,
Yeah,
so he's like, you never want to be small and scary at the same time, right?
Exactly.
You get squished.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I do when I see something small and scary. I squish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good metaphor, to be fair. Like, even though it seems like a random time to bring it up, or like a random way to include it in the series, it did, like, make perfect sense with the conversation.
And it kind of went with this whole thing, because he's going to someone who could squish him.
Yeah.
Just, like, end his life. Never mind, goodbye.
Yeah.
I was thinking when this came on, when I was rewatching it, that, like, okay, they really are trying to get as much Luke in as possible, because we have to... Well, first of all, Luke hasn't been part of a lot of this middle part of the books. They need to kind of remind us of him. They need to throw him in. They need to, like, plant these seeds because we're about to get the betrayal. Right. And otherwise, just throwing him in at the end, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, it's been a while now,
Yeah, definitely.
So I was thinking that they kind of needed to do that.
I do think it was smart for the layout of the whole season. In that way of, like... First of all, in the way of him being an actor, it's probably nice to have work... like every episode. Although because they filmed the whole thing before the whole thing came out, I'm sure it wasn't like
maybe they were filmed in bits and pieces and like different times.
Like the whole season,
like all the camp stuff might have been filmed at
maybe.
Once. I don't
Although
know.
They're in the woods, so was that filmed like the same time they did the other woods scene where he betrayed them? Who knows? But the point is, as an actor, more screen time, good.
Yeah.
But also, like. Getting this, like, remember how good of friends they were? Remember how cool you thought Luke was 4 episodes ago? Here we go again. Like, here comes the betrayal. Although, it is interesting. Anyways, we'll get to that when we get to the Luke scene. But I have new thoughts about the betrayal after rewatching it.
Okay. So that's it on the flashback.
Yes, it is. So now we're walking up to the throne area, the open sky area with the thrones.
You kind of see the palace on top of the hill. But you know what, the colors are all like brown and green.
Yep.
Instead of white and gold. It wasn't very colorful. I mean, it wasn't very like, God, like.
No. It wasn't like he walked into like a Greek heaven, basically.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's like supposed to be.
Yeah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah. It was just like, I don't know, it was just like this normal city.
Yeah, and you kind of see like he's gonna walk. It looks like he's gonna walk up some kind of path or something like that. I don't know. And then it shows him kind of coming around the path and into this courtyard.
Yeah.
Now they do have. I did look. There was 12 seats.
Yes.
And on one side there was the hearth where Hestia.
Yes.
Would be.
Yeah.
And did you notice? And maybe that like so. Yes, they're all the same except for Zeus's. Poseidon's has like wave patterns on it, and Hera's has peacocks.
Right. Yeah. I paused and I looked really closely, and so Zeus's has like these weird heads.
Oh.
At the bottom, like, kind of like where so there's a place where you would put your arms, except for his doesn't really have it. But like imagine the place you'd put your arms.
Yeah.
At the very bottom of that, like where it touches the ground. On each side, there's like 3 or 4 heads.
Weird.
Some of them have like their mouths open, or maybe all of them did. It was hard to tell. Definitely, some of them had like mouths open.
Sounds more like Hades.
I was like trying to figure out what this was. I was like, what? What is happening here? Anyway, so that was really weird.
That is weird.
And then his also has like a lightning bolt at the very top, like at the very very top. It's like coming down, and then when you zoom in, like when he is sitting on the chair and the camera is like closer to him, you see like right behind him. There's kind of like a pattern that looks like, kind of like the sky. Like it could be like a representation of the sky. So those were things I noticed about his chair. And then, yeah, Hera's chair, it's like the armrests are peacocks and the back part of it has like peacock feathers, like the part where you put your back against. And then when I looked so closely at Poseidon's, and there was way less noticeable things. They weren't even that wave-like, though.
Yeah, they were waves. I thought they were waves. I noticed it immediately, so.
I was like, the shape of the chair is so odd, first of all. It's like that Christmas tree look, where there's like a bunch of triangles. You know what I mean? Like, when you draw a Christmas tree when you're young, it's like that kind of a shape, except for it doesn't taper. And, yeah, like, the armrests looked like maybe they could be mer people. That was, like, the most obvious thing. But, like, the back of the chair, it wasn't waves like normal waves. It was just, like, wavy lines that were, like, going around. I don't know. It didn't look like proper waves. Like, there's a wave shape. They weren't that shape. They were just wavy lines. But they were going vertically, mostly.
Yeah.
Instead of horizontally, like you would imagine waves to be.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I duplicated that it was supposed to represent waves. It wasn't a great job, but it was.
No, but there is like mer-type people looking things as an armrest, so that's Poseidon-y. Should have been some horses or something on there. That's how we could have thrown in he's also the god of horses. If his throne had like a horse face on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways.
That's funny. When in the book, when Percy was walking through Olympus, it says like he passed giggling wood nymphs who threw olives at me from their garden. Hawkers in the market offered to sell me a brooch on a stick and a new shield, and a genuine glitter weave replica of the Golden Fleece, as seen on Hephaestus TV.
All right.
And then like there's a whole
the 9 TV, right?
The 9 muses were tuning their instruments for a concert in the park. There's all these like
it's like heaven.
Yeah, all these people are hanging out. No one seemed worried about the impending civil war. I know that means more people to pay for, but how cool would it have been for him to walk through and see like markets and people and
it could have been like most of the same people that are later who are the campers that like clap at him when he goes back.
Sure, yeah.
Just saying, it could have just been the same people.
Totally.
I know that most of those are like kids, but if you just see like the back of them, you don't have to know that they look young.
Yeah, no. And then when he gets to the throne room, as we know, it's supposed to have both Zeus and Poseidon there.
Already there, because the war hasn't started yet.
Yeah. And Zeus is sitting on a simple throne of solid platinum. That's all.
Probably conducts electricity well.
Probably.
Or maybe the opposite. Maybe he can sit there and not accidentally zap himself.
Yeah. And then Poseidon, of course, is dressed like a beach person. Mm-hmm. And it says that his throne was a deep-sea fisherman's chair. It was the simple swiveling kind with a black leather seat and a built-in holster for a fishing pole.
Yeah.
And then said the pole was the bronze trident. I just thought that was
Isn't
great.
That crazy?
So
like,
fun.
But it's also like not normal sized. It's a giant fishing
chair. I think it mentions they were in giant human form.
Yes.
So kind of like Hades was, like their 10-foot tall one. Yeah.
Which is funny because, anyways, it can't be 10 feet actually. I mean, I know that 10 feet is tall, but if you, like, that's only like double a short human. Like, if you're 6 feet, they're only 4 feet taller than you. Like, you would imagine a god.
Very tall.
I know, but I would imagine them to be like 15 feet.
Well, they don't want to accidentally step on you, so they keep themselves big, but not too big.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because the reason why I imagine them bigger is because there's a scene, like, way later in a different book where Percy and his friends end up, like, having a little party with the gods. I don't know if you remember this. This is when Athena is like, stay away from my daughter. They're having, like, a little party with the gods in some book, and Percy was like, oh, thankfully they all like shrunk down to their mortal forms so that like none of us would be trampled. You wouldn't be trampled by a 10-foot person. They would be intimidating.
You have to really look at what 10 feet is. 7 foot is tall. 3 more feet above that, that's pretty big. They could just bump into you and you'd knock over.
Isn't like this ceiling 10 feet tall?
I don't know. You want to go get a ruler? We can have a ruler.
Ruler.
maybe not a ruler.
I feel like if I stand up, it's like, I mean, maybe it's a little bit
Remember
less.
this, they're not going to just be tall, skinny gumbo type. They're also going to be filled out a little bit more being that tall.
Yeah. I don't know.
I still
just
think you
feel
can
like
trample.
It's not tall enough to trample mortals.
Please call the complaint department of, I don't know, the Percy Jackson books. Okay. Okay, but here he just shows up and it's just Zeus sitting on the throne, right?
Yeah, just him sitting on just his throne.
And he, hands him the bolt and says, I didn't steal it.
Right. And then he also says this line, and none of my friends stole it. But Luke is your friend. So actually...
Liar.
That's not really accurate.
Oh, my God.
I thought that was funny.
And Zeus is
Maybe
you
meant,
failed.
my close friends.
Yeah. Zeus tells him he failed, but then Percy says it was Cronus?
Yeah. So he tells us how it's all Cronus being the manipulator this whole time, blah, blah, blah.
And then Zeus kind of just makes light of it a little bit. He's just thank you. Yeah. You can leave now or something, right?
Yeah, he's like, it doesn't matter. This is, I'm not surprised. This is what I was always expecting. He's being such a...
But then he's like, I gotta go back to a war
arrogant,
or something.
Yeah. He's like, well, gotta get back to destroying your father. And Percy's like, for what reason? He didn't do anything wrong. It's basically what he's saying.
Percy is so sassy at this point. He's like, you can't have the war. And he's like, your family is a mess.
Yeah, and then Thunder tells
Zeus that his family is a mess.
Thunder actually booms for the right reason.
That's right. Thunder booms, and it's not because Poseidon is showing up. It's because Zeus is mad.
Yes.
That's why the thunder booms.
So at least they do know how to use it the right way. So then we must assume that all the other times...
But do you think that they're actually making thunder boom because Poseidon really shows up seconds later?
It's not seconds later.
Yeah, he's like, your family's a mess, and then he's like, and then he grabs the
says your... No, it's before he says your family's mess and that the thunder booms. I think it's just when he's like, what do you mean?
Right when he starts saying about the war.
When he first starts talking about it. Yeah, because
the minute he starts arguing with Zeus before he gets very far. Because Zeus says I'm going to let you go. Basically, thank you for bringing the bolt. Fine, I'll let you live. That's your prize.
Yes, and then Percy's like, you can't go to war. And I think that's when the thunder booms. And then, but anyways, he does make really great points. Percy makes really great points when he's like, this is literally what Cronus wants.
Yeah, you're doing exactly what he wants.
And not only that, you guys have to become more united than this because, he makes that point. Ares, your own son, turned on you the instant someone stronger showed up. You really think that the rest of them aren't going to do that too? They don't love you, they're just scared of you.
They're just scared of you. Oh my gosh, he was so rude.
Yeah, no, he was... so brazen.
Oh gosh. It was like, what
he was
are
asking
you doing?
To get murdered, to be fair.
Well, he was about to die.
Yes.
That was, thanks for telling me I will now kill you like a cockroach.
Yeah.
And then...
The sad thing is, too, is that Zeus would kill him and then be like, you know what, he's probably right.
And then change his mind.
No, and then be like, anyways, this was my idea.
That's totally true. And that would have been wasted. So Poseidon stops the bolt and he says, I surrender. Mm-hmm. And he looks really like it really hurt him to surrender because they have so much pride.
Yeah.
He has to basically say, I'm wrong, you beat me, I lost, you won, and that's he's...
As long as you spare my son.
As long as you spare my son.
That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, Percy did almost die, multiple times on his quest.
And Poseidon didn't come?
No.
Well, I mean, he did make that river fly up in the air and pluck him out of the air.
Yes.
He did save him then. Maybe he was just watching, for that moment.
Maybe all those times the death wasn't close enough. Maybe it had to literally be seconds away, like in this case.
And maybe he's like, I can do something about this because I can interfere with another god, but I can't particularly interfere with monsters.
Yeah, he's not supposed to interfere with quests so much. Yeah. But this was crazy.
He does say something about, what's forbidden child? I don't know, something about a forbidden child, and then he's like, well, what about Thalia?
Thalia. You can hear him say it perfectly. Yeah. Thalia. Okay. No, you're putting emphasis on the ah. That is the noise that's there, Thalia. But it's not the, what's it called? The part of the word that you emphasize?
Yeah.
Thalia.
Anyways, they do talk to each other in Greek here, right? Which we get a
parentheses. No.
What is it called? Translation of. Yeah. But in the book, it also happens they talk to each other in Greek. But he says, he tried to listen, all he could hear was father.
Right.
So that's they do that exactly the same. That's all he could grab and hear was father.
That we get to know what they said this time.
Yeah. But I like where they're like, who knows about it? And he's like, Ares, Hades, Hermes, everyone.
So everyone.
And I was like, okay, Ares, yep, big mouth, talks. Hades, huh? He wouldn't tell anybody.
No, but
Hermes
he
is the messenger.
He would be the last to know. If everyone else knew, but
so
not
he already
Hades,
knows. So therefore, Everyone.
And Hermes, the god of messengers, knows, and Ares, the loudmouth, knows. Now that
That's
is
everyone. That's right. And then Zeus is fine, I'll do a meeting. Fine, I'll do a meeting. Grumble, rolls his eyes.
But he says, the first thing we'll talk about is my swift victory.
That's right.
And then we'll talk about the impending doom of the world.
Yeah.
So arrogant.
Which is perfect, because that's how he is in the book.
Yes. I'm glad he didn't show up and was like, what up, Percy? So I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah, we are so glad that Zeus is actually a scary, also, not very just...
No.
And cares about winning against his brother more than he cares about anything else.
I think that becoming ruler of the world or whatever, just because you killed the person beforehand, it should not be all it takes. You need to have more qualifications than having just killed someone else.
I mean, a whole bunch of... That's how so many countries lived through their, kings and queens. They were born.
Awful rulers.
Very true, very true.
It was just you were either born into it or someone killed you and they were like, now I'm the king. And everyone's like, well, he did kill the king. That's all it takes. And you're like, what?
I mean, might is something. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. It is really funny, though. I'm just saying, funny. I don't think Zeus is qualified for this job. But it's fine.
Yeah. In the book, he goes to his dad first and kneels down at his dad. And Zeus is like, should you not address the master of the house first, boy? And then Poseidon says... basically peace. The boy defers to his father. That is only right.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool that, it was
Percy
accepted.
had to make that
okay.
decision. He was
he did.
He had to walk in and be
decide.
like, if I do... in the book, he's way more aware of the fact that if he does literally one thing wrong, he will get killed.
Yeah.
He's
not
very
quite
aware
as...
of all of his actions.
Yeah.
And this was a very calculated decision on his part of being like, okay, I gotta address one of them first. Is it my father or is it the king of the gods? I don't know. Okay.
Poseidon is a little nicer in this show.
Definitely.
Than in the book, maybe. Because, in the book, he says, at one point, Zeus says, you claim this child whom you sired against our sacred oath. Come on, Zeus. Anyways, and then Poseidon says, I have admitted my wrongdoing. And then, Percy feels bad. And then later he's like, I'm sorry you were born. I'm sorry I brought you here. Now, I know he's sorry that he's giving him this life that's really...
Right.
hard, whatever. It's not like he's really being like, God, you suck. I don't want to be with you. But still, it does. In both cases, Percy feels a little bit like...
He's what do you say after your dad says you, wish you wasn't born?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't really get that from this Poseidon.
No, here
but
he's,
that's okay.
very caring. And he's
still standoffish enough. He's not all let's go hug and play football in the park.
But he does grab, the back of his neck.
Oh, when he's talking to him?
When he talks about the dream, when they talk about the dream thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot
that was a lot of
whole
physical contact for a man you've never met. He was I'm just saying, in the book, that would have been what?
Yeah, and they're really pushing the romantic angle of poor, Poseidon and Sally, who could never be together,
I better leave when Paul comes
I
around.
know!
We can't be sitting out in the rain anymore.
Crying to Poseidon. We gotta get Paul in here. Anyways, so the Percy is with his dad in the very beginning, and I don't think Zeus tries to kill him. I don't believe
Not
so.
really. He does.
Yeah, there's no arguing with Zeus particularly.
He mentions that he's a forbidden child or whatever. He does mention that, but more to Poseidon. But that's pretty much the worst of what he says. Well, but to be fair, Percy did complete the quest on time. Here.
He did complete it on time. They have not started fighting yet.
He's a little happier.
Yeah. They haven't started fighting yet. He doesn't have to argue about don't keep doing the war. Hello. This wasn't needed. But he does say, listen, Ares did this, whatever, and it wasn't just him.
I can't believe Ares didn't get a punishment that was super
why wasn't he sent down to Earth like Apollo?
Or Dionysus has just for chasing a forbidden nymph. Zeus's reasoning.
His reasoning doesn't make any sense.
This is what I mean about this ruling thing. What did he do to Hades?
What did he do to Ares?
I don't know. I just slapped him and was well, There you go.
Well, he says, but the Ares would do such a thing. It is most unlike him. And then Poseidon says, he is proud and impulsive. It runs in the family. So they're just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess so. They're like, oh, he knew, like, he went off and found the bolt in the helm and then didn't tell us, even though that was his explicit job I gave him.
I wonder if I mean, like, he literally completely is a traitor at that point.
Completely defied Zeus.
I don't know. This is sort of like...
family. And they're just like, oh, Ares.
This is sort of like McGonagall giving, like, when she catches the Harry and whoever out late at night and gives them, like, takes away all these points because, you know, she was just grumpy and was woke up in the night. Maybe, you know, maybe Zeus was grumpy at the Apollo time or something.
And now he's in, like, a good mood
He's in a good mood.
Because I guess he's getting his bolt back, so he's like, all's well that ends well.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't yet see that there's actually a problem that's being caused. And yeah. It didn't actually almost result in the end of the world like Apollo's.
Yeah. In Ares' defense, he was being manipulated by Cronus. Now, of course, he let himself be manipulated.
And he was easy to manipulate.
Yeah, seems like it. But maybe that was their excuse there, where, like, Dionysus and Apollo both acted on their own, like, more free will.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does seem insane that he just got no punishment for this, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, in this one, he just brings up the whole Cronus thing, and then Zeus is like, we're not going to talk about this anymore. And he's like, I have to go purify my thunderbolt in the waters of Lemnos.
Yeah.
Because it's been touched by these
puny
mortals. And then he's like, to show you my thanks, I shall spare your life. It's like,
which is kind of the same vibe when he tells him he can leave.
But then he's like, he's like, I do not trust you.
Back.
I do not like what your arrival means for the future, Olympus, but I'll let you live. And then he says, do not presume to fly again. Do not let me find you here when I return. Yeah. Otherwise you shall taste this bolt, and it shall be your last sensation. And then thunder goes...
And then, doesn't Poseidon call him dramatic?
No. Oh yeah, Poseidon calls Zeus. He's like, your uncle has always had a flair for dramatic exits. I think he would have done well as the god of theater.
So funny.
So fun. We could have used some of that.
Zeus, like, threatens his life all dramatically. And
I know.
Booms away in thunder. Poseidon's like, oh yeah, drama queen. Anyways.
Whatever. Not that guy couldn't have just killed you in a split second, but that's okay.
Well, maybe he would have stepped in. I don't
know. But we have the same line in the book and the show where he says, like, obedience does not come naturally to you, does it?
Yeah. I would like that they had that line.
No, sir. And he says, I must take the blame. About sea not liking to be restrained. Yeah. So that's cute that they had that in there. Yeah.
I feel like this whole scene, except for the difference of Percy arriving late with the bolt. Yeah. And the fact that Poseidon was there from the beginning. But in general, this was like a very to the book type scene. It had all the same, like, hit points.
There was a lot of similarities.
And all the good stuff, for sure.
But that was weird. It was like, he's like, I understood the word father, and he's like, your mother taught you ancient Greek? Yeah. Or no, he's like, yeah. No, he says something like,
Chiron taught you.
And he's like, no, my mother or whatever. I don't know.
He just doesn't say it's his mom. Just, Poseidon says, oh, Chiron taught you well. And then Percy's like, Chiron didn't teach me that. And then there's like a pause where you see, like, Poseidon, like, realize it. And then he's like, and then he asks in a way of, like awe, like in awe of Sally, like, your mother taught you ancient Greek.
I know, and that's them. Whoever the writers really like to make this romantic. There's definitely what's the ship name? The Poseidon Sally ship.
Pally.
Or Sassa. Oh, I saw this somewhere. It's Poseidon. It's Poseidon, and it's like sassy, and that's why they created a sassy Percy, because it's Poseidon. Poseidon. No, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know, it's Poseidon. So they're big Poseidon shippers here because they're just like, they make him like really like in awe of this mother who raised and taught him ancient Greek. I mean, that's okay, fine.
Yeah, I mean, and then in the book she didn't. So
she didn't. No, in the book she didn't teach him anything at all about mythology, Greek, nothing. And I guess that was kind of dumb, and maybe that's why Rick's like, come on, Sally should have been teaching him all along. Yeah. I'm okay with that. That's fine.
It just made way more sense.
It does make more sense. And then he's like, do gods dream, right? Ares says...
he's like, can I ask you a question? And rightfully so, Poseidon's thinking, oh, you must be wondering if your mom's going to return.
That's right.
But that's literally not what he's going to ask. But
Doesn't he say something
that
like...
Hades can be stubborn Oh, shoot, what
And
was
Hades
it?
can be difficult. That's right. He says something like when Hades
Something.
doesn't know when, like he'll return her whenever he's ready. Hades can be difficult sometimes, or when he doesn't get his way, or something like that.
Something like that.
But in the book, it's opposite. He literally says, "Don't worry, she'll be returned. Hades always pays his debts."
Yeah.
So I'm like, first of all, in
Which
the book,
it is a Hades thing.
yeah.
He always pays.
But so at first they make Hades not scary and all whatever, and then they're like, "Oh, he's gonna be difficult." Was he like he didn't seem like a difficult person in the show. So now they're saying he's difficult?
I don't know, man.
Okay, whatever.
I think his personality just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
they didn't think it
Who
out.
is Hades? As amazing as he was, who is he?
Yeah.
But yeah, he says this thing where he says Ares says they don't dream, and then he replies, Ares is a moron.
Which was a great line.
Oh, I love that. And then he says something about dreaming about his mom.
Yeah, so Percy asks him, like the reason why he asked him if he can dream is because he is like, well, I guess maybe it was in reference to
Do you ever
Ares,
dream about my mom?
But he asked if he's ever dreamed about his mom. And
I literally got
answer.
teary-eyed.
Yeah.
But something about the music and everything there, I was like...
Well, he doesn't answer, but he grabs Percy by the neck. That sounds, weird, but,
in a nice,
in, the kind of way you would, grab someone by the shoulder, but for some reason he decides, the back of his neck is, an appropriate place. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because my neck is, kind of a sensitive, zone. If someone touched my neck, I'd get, goosebumps. So if someone grabbed the back of my neck, I'd be like, get off. But anyways, but then he, kind of, zooms in on Percy's face, and he's, looking up at his dad, and, it is emotional.
It's emotional, yeah.
But he doesn't actually answer. He just says, I think it's time for you to return, or whatever, and then, poof, the pearl.
He shows a pearl, and Percy looks at it for a second, and then he drops it.
In the
book,
did
though,
they get him back to the ocean by Camp Half-Blood instead of just in a dead grass field? I was like, aren't these pearls supposed to transport you to the ocetion?
Oh yeah, right. It's supposed to transfer you.
And there's an ocean at
Maybe he modified that
on
pearl.
The beach.
Yeah, he should have been walking out of the water.
That would have been great. There's no reason not to do that. Why is he in this random field? I guess you get this great shot of Thalia's tree, but
yeah, that's what it is. But before we finish that scene in the book, he says you will have a package waiting for you home. Does he say something about you have to make a decision with it or something like that?
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
He's like, it's up to you what you do with it or something.
He says, when you return home, Percy, you must make an important choice. You will find a package waiting in your room. You will understand when you see it. No one can choose your path, Percy. You must decide.
So is this, to be fair, this does seem like he's trying to save Sally.
Yeah.
This is Poseidon being like, hey...
They're not just returning...
He's, saying it all mysteriously, you must pick your own path, but it's so will you or will you not get rid of Gabe? Because this is getting
will
ridiculous.
You kill him
I've been sitting here watching this, and I cannot take it anymore. Please just kill him.
I know, it does sound very dramatic, and it's literally
do
you want to kill Gabe or not? Do you want to give this to your mom or not? I mean, I don't know. What else is it for, you know?
Percy wants, in the book, Percy's I can do this. I'll go kill him right now. And Sally's the one who's I need to control my own destiny. You can't just do everything for me. Your dad tried to do the same.
Yeah, that's true.
And then really it's her decision. She does it.
Which is great. Not
is
great.
No,
I mean, I kind of like the way they did
it
in the show because then it's not she literally just killed someone.
Yeah. Although, if someone deserved it, it would be Gabe.
I'm not sure why I never really noticed the problem with it. And all the times I read it when I was yeah, of course, kill Gabe. I mean, but she didn't just kill Gabe. Didn't she kill the whole poker party?
Well,
don't they?
Obviously, this is a more family-friendly podcast. Yeah. But if we can assume that they were all awful to her and that they all deserved it.
Sure.
We don't know all that she went through.
I'm happy with the way the show did it. It worked for me.
Especially because Gabe was not that awful.
She already kicked him out. In the show, she's already kicked him out and divorced him. So she's already standing on her own 2 feet. So we don't have to, prove anything.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he opens it and turns the stove is oh, nice.
Especially because he was, planning on, screwing her over. He's on the phone and he's...
Trying to screw her over with his divorce lawyer. Yeah, that's true.
So,
so that it really works out well that way. It's oh, was that not fate or was that not fate?
Yep.
But yeah, no, see, he's saying, like, you know, your mother was amazing. I never met such a mortal woman, whatever, but I'm still sorry you were born. I have brought you a hero's fate, and a hero's fate is never happy. It's never anything but tragic.
Right.
And then he's like, I tried not to feel hurt. Here was my own dad telling me he was sorry I'd been born.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
But he's just sorry because he's going to have to be sad at your funeral. Because you're going to die.
You're definitely going to die before he dies.
I mean,
yeah.
That's also true.
Yeah. Anyways,
that wasn't
finishes
meant
that.
as a spoiler. In all the books we've read so far, Percy has not died. But
that might be a spoiler. I'm just joking.
That's what Poseidon is thinking. Like, it's going to end terribly for you. So, have fun with it.
Because very rarely does a hero make it past, you know, like into the adult years.
Into their, like, 20s, to be honest. Yeah. Like, it's just a camp full of children who are all going to die before they turn 20.
Or they're minor gods that no one really pays attention, and they're able to kind of, like, live somewhere. Yeah.
They're able to go off and live better lives. But, I mean, to be fair, George Washington is supposed to be a child of Athena, and he survived to quite the age.
Good for him.
I mean, I don't know, like 45 or whatever. But quite the age for the time.
Yeah. So it's weird here. In the book, we go straight to the apartment to see his mom and have that whole discussion about the box.
I know, and then he goes back to camp.
Then he goes to camp.
And then
which
Sally
makes sense because he's
letter.
in New York City. He might as well just go see his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that does make sense.
So it does make sense, but
I guess he knows. Well, first of all,
he knows that they're not back. Yeah, she's not back yet, so he has to go straight to camp and make sure that Clarice is getting handled.
Right, because there's still more.
That's what he
to
still
this.
thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny that at the end of, like, in the book, after they, like, save the bolt and everything, they don't even be like, well, maybe we need to find out who actually stole this bolt. Like, there's still a bad guy out there. They're just like, nope.
Did they just assume that Ares was the one who stole the bolt, and they know Ares couldn't?
They literally said
because they said,
Ares.
was it Clarice? Yeah. No, they don't even go and say, like, hey, Chiron, should we check with Clarice and see if she's stealing bolts?
They're just like, well, quest done. We did it. The end.
I never thought about that.
Like, what? There's clearly someone out there still.
Oh, my gosh. And if he was smart at all, he would immediately have connected it then to Luke, because he would have been like... Well, he would have connected it that someone who was his friend must have been the one who stole the bolt.
Well, he thought that the friend that betrayed him was... What does he think of the book? I don't remember, but he thinks he's like, maybe it was this person. But
that person wasn't... Oh, maybe this was this person, but that person wasn't... He was like, but that person wasn't... Oh, Ares. He's like, but Ares wasn't really my friend. Yeah.
But he was like, well, maybe when he was pretending to help us out.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so we don't go into the scene of him going to the apartment and having that whole conversation with his mom and all that stuff. That doesn't happen at all in the TV show.
Nope.
No. Gabe's there. Like, Gabe's basically saying, you can't stay here. You caused me all this trouble. You better get out of here or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like,
and Sally's saying,
kicking him out.
Don't worry. Like, I'll handle it. And Percy's like, why do you put up with him?
Yeah. And, this is where... he lifts his hand and she flinches, and Percy's like, oh, he's been hitting you.
Yeah.
This is where he finally realizes that Gabe's actually been abusing his mom.
Yeah. And
he says, this box, whatever, I can handle it right now, Mom, I can handle it. And she's like, no, let me do it myself. But she says that when
and then, Gabe says something like, where's that bean dip or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, she says, she makes some comment to, like, surprise casserole or something.
It's meatloaf.
And then winks at Percy.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the impression when Percy leaves that
she's going to do something about it.
Do it.
Yeah, it says, a steely look of anger flared in my mother's eyes, and I thought just maybe I was leaving her in good hands after all, her own. And then she says, the meatloaf is coming right up, dear. Meatloaf surprise. And then she winks at Percy. And then it says, the last thing I saw as the door swung closed was my mother staring at Gabe as if she were contemplating how he would look as a garden statue. That's great. And that's the end of chapter 21. Okay, good. Yeah, so we're going to end here.
Yeah, we'll do the whole camp.
We'll do the whole
together.
Camp and Luke thing at the end.
Yep.
Okay, good. I do have a question.
Okay.
I don't know how exciting it is, but I thought about it. Like, they didn't show any elevator. There's always elevator music in the elevator going to the 600th floor, but they didn't show any in the show. So elevator?
They did show someone Hermes was going up.
That's true. But they didn't show when Percy was going up. So what elevator music was playing?
Percy
was going up.
Well, if we're not assuming it's not what happened in the book, then maybe
it's not what happened in the book because we're changing it.
Right. I don't know, maybe like something by like Neil Armstrong. I feel like that's kind of elevator-ish music. He has a soothing voice.
Wait, isn't Neil Armstrong the one of the astronauts that flew?
Shoot.
Do you mean Neil?
That's the guy who sings like.
I was thinking of that song, "Fly Me to the Moon."
Oh, that's Frank Sinatra.
Okay, that one. That's the song I was singing. So hold on, I'm pretty sure Neil Armstrong is an astronaut.
I think you're right. Who's the one who sings that song?
Yeah, he's an astronaut.
Like about like the skies are
Neil
blue.
Diamond?
No.
Oh, yeah.
That's someone Armstrong. That is Armstrong.
Yeah,
right?
Louis Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
I wasn't
There's a
that
Neil Diamond who
far.
sings, and there's a Louis Armstrong who sings. And you put their names together. Well, maybe. I mean, what a great thing to be playing when you're going up to your possible death is "What a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong.
Yeah.
There you go.
It is a great song. Percy always like hates elevator music, but I think "Raindrops Falling on Your Head" is a good. Like I like that song.
Yeah, every single song that Rick puts on there that he doesn't like, including the Frank Sinatra from Chiron, I like that music.
I don't think that Rick doesn't like it.
He thinks that kids don't like it.
Yeah, like maybe he's picking stuff specifically that when he plays around his son's like, oh god, this is old people music.
Yeah, it's funny some of his things. The music that Percy makes fun of.
Yeah, I'm like, all this music is great. He just needs a better music education. That's the real issue here.
Speaking of music, I really thought that we should be keeping track, and it's too late now, but like as we read the Apollo books, every single song that Apollo brings up and make like a playlist. I wonder if someone's already done that of all the songs. If some of he just brings up so many songs.
Yeah, he does.
And it makes me want to just listen to all of them.
He brings up pop culture things left and right.
All over the place. He was obviously up on the pop culture. But sorry, that's not what we're talking about.
No.
I'm sorry. We're not talking about Apollo. Anyway, so yeah, that was my question. What song was playing on the elevator?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, follow our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Threads at Camp Comparisons Podcast. I've actually been posting when I post an episode again, so come answer the questions on my post.
Nice. I think
on
I
Instagram.
forgot.
And if you want to list your favorite Frank Sinatra songs, email us at campcomparisons@gmail.com.
Actually, what we really want you to do is to tell us about your favorite Taylor Swift songs, but that's not the point. Okay.
That wasn't relevant to this episode.
And don't forget to tell your friends about us. And also don't forget to rate and review us and like our posts and comment on our posts and, all that good stuff.
All of that stuff.
All of that stuff.
Until next time.
See you at camp.
Bye. You didn't say bye.